All right, this is an oldie. It's an oldie where I come from.
Welcome to Rudy's Movie Reviews, San Antonio's official movie critic. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. We're going to go old school on everybody. I asked my fans last week on my Facebook page, which movie would you like for me to start my 80s retro movie review segment? And the overwhelming response was for Raiders of the Lost Ark, which happens to feature one of my all-time favorite characters, which is none other than...
You lost today, kid. But it doesn't mean you have to like it.
Indiana Jones. That was pretty cool, right? So what I did was I took out the Blu-ray collection, which I hadn't seen in a while because I've seen it so many times, but I tried to watch the film from a new perspective, which was difficult because this is such a timeless classic. We all love it. We've all grown up with it. We all know all the lines. Asps, very dangerous. You go first. You know, that's just one. That's just one of many that I can say. But that was a difficult part, just to kind of see it from a new and try to see it from a critical standpoint. And I did. And I had a great time doing it. And honestly, it truly made me appreciate how this film was made back in the day. And that's kind of like one of the points I want to talk about in this review. We've kind of gotten spoiled with CGI. And this film features some of the best stunt work I've ever seen. And it's funny because I've seen this movie 100 times. The score is amazing, the acting is amazing, the antagonist is amazing. It's truly a great film. So let me go ahead and get started. Now, the beginning of the movie starts with Indiana Jones and Alfred Molina, who plays Dr. Octopus later in life, as we know in Spider-Man 2. They're entering a temple to steal an idol. And one thing I did notice with the fresh set of eyes was how danger continually escalates on Indy. If it's not a tribe trying to kill him, right? If it's not spiders, if it's not traps, if it's not a gap that he has to swing over with a whip, if it's not poisonous darts, there's always danger after him, right? He steals the idol, which we all know by heart, right? He's just like trying to get it, right? He steals it, and what happens? We have more danger. The place starts falling apart. So he's running out. There's a great exchange. We know what happens with the whip when he asks for the whip to go across the gap.
Give me the whip. Throw me the idol. No time to argue. Throw me the idol. I throw you the whip. Give me the whip. Adios, senor.
He goes, he escapes, and what do we have? Even more danger. Now we have a boulder after him, right? And then when he finally leaves the temple, there's more danger. And that's one thing I did notice with the fresh set of eyes about our hero is that he's constantly placed with the odds against him. And I love that. I mean, I guess I never noticed that because I've seen it a billion times, but the odds are always against him. And the other thing I noticed is that the relics he always takes are always taken away from him. But you didn't know that. So we meet the antagonist of the film, Renee Belloc, which I give a lot of praise for him being an antagonist because he's just as brilliant as Indy. He's just as charismatic as Indy. He wears a fedora. I bet you didn't catch that either. Ha. But I do love how our hero is constantly put in danger. And the characters in this film were amazing, as I already mentioned with the antagonist and how well written he is. And you know all about him within the first few minutes. Too bad the heroes don't know you as well as I do, Belloc. I mean, we already know there's a history between them two. But we have the introduction of Marion Ravenwood, played by Karen Allen.
Hello, Marion.
Indiana Jones. Always knew someday you'd come walking back through my door. I never doubted that. Something made it inevitable. So what are you doing here in Nepal?
I need one of the pieces your father collected.
I learned to hate you in the last 10 years.
Now, what other film can you think of where the leading lady is introduced by knocking the hell out of the hero? And I love that. And I love how it hurts. She's like, it's awesome. Timeless. I love it. But then we have a sequence where the Ermac character and his goons try to steal and take the relic that Indy's looking for to find the Ark. They have a confrontation in the bar. And folks, that's real fire. I mean, one thing we are all spoiled nowadays with CGI. CGI can give us any world we can create. But have you noticed it feels artificial? One thing I did appreciate with Indiana Jones is that's real fire. That whole sequence in the bar is that's real fire. That's real danger. That's real elements for the actors to react to, not just a green screen with a ball. Like, react. This is a dragon, so just react to that. And that had me appreciate the film a lot more. After the bar sequence, we end up going to Cairo to meet another character, Salah, the guy I was trying to do earlier. Asps, very dangerous, that guy. And then there's the infamous sequence within the marketplace where Indy shoots the swordsman, which is a timeless classic. But did you know the reason they shot that? The original sequence was that Indy was going to have this battle with the swordsman. But what happened is everybody on location got dysentery. They all got sick. Harrison Ford was sick during that scene. Everybody was sick for the exception of Steven Spielberg. He actually brought 30 days worth of SpaghettiOs to eat. So Harrison did not want to fight because he was not feeling well. So they go, just shoot him then. So that's kind of like what they made up on the spot, where Indy just shoots the guy and the guy falls down. And it's funny how it's a timeless classic now. People love that sequence, and it wasn't even planned. He just kind of made it up on the spot. As I mentioned, I love characters, so the other character I'd like to talk about a little bit further is the antagonist, René Belloc. He and Indy are pretty much equals, if you haven't noticed. They're both brilliant, right? They're both archaeologists. They love history. They're both charismatic, and they both wear fedoras, if you haven't noticed. And Marion likes them both. So when Marion's taken from Indy, and there's that 10 sequence, which I'm going to show because I laugh at it all the time. Now, I'm just going to show it right now. You can tell what's going on. She takes the knife, she's eating, you know what she's doing. We know she can drink, first off. We know she can drink anybody under the table. So you know that's her scheme right now. And when she finally presents her scheme with the knife, like, hey, I'm going to escape, I love Belloc's reaction. Watch. It makes me laugh every time I see it. It's a timeless sequence. And of course, the other sequence I love, it's two creative sequences that you're not expecting back to back. We have that, and then we have the antagonist, Ermac, come in. And he comes in, he gets his bag, and he just gets this device, and everyone's just freaking out. Like, what's he going to do? And then it turns out to be... You see, and that's clever. I love that. I love that about this film. It takes you one way and then it kind of just messes with you a little bit. I do love that. Now, my favorite sequence of the entire film is the truck sequence. And I'm saying that now because I saw it with a fresh set of eyes. I truly appreciate what they did on this sequence. It's 5 minutes. So bear with me. I'm just going to play it for you. I'm going to have highlights of my thoughts on what I caught seeing it again. So just bear with me. I know this is 5 minutes and I've gotten some feedback from some of my viewers that my videos are too long, but I really want you to see this with a fresh set of eyes. If you love movies, if you love seeing things like, oh wow, I didn't know that or I didn't see that, you'll really appreciate the sequence. So I'm going to go ahead and play now, watch it, and we'll go back and discuss it afterward. That's what I'm talking about. There's no CGI in 1980, folks, so they're filming this on location. These are real stuntmen. That's real trucks. That's a real guy under a truck. I mean, come on, that's amazing. So seeing that again, I'm like, my God, I mean, they did that with no special effects. I mean, they had stunt work and that's all they did. As I mentioned before, everything's taken from Indy. No matter what he gets, it's taken from him. So we know the arc he's after that. We know that sequence at the end where they open the ark on that island, which when I was a kid gave me nightmares like nobody's business. But hey, I turned out all right. Hey, no big deal. But yeah, the ark opens and we know what happens. Faces are melting, faces are being crushed. One guy's head explodes and the power of the ark or the power of God just wipes the enemies away. And Indy and Marion don't get taken away because they didn't look, which again, to this day is an amazing sequence. No CGI, they did their best with whatever prosthetics and practical effects they can use. I'm very curious how they had the ghosts flying within the film. I gotta do more research on that, but that looked great. In closing, what can I say about this film that has not been said or studied or written about? It's truly a great movie. It's lightning in a bottle that Spielberg constantly says. We captured lightning in a bottle. They had a perfect blend of characters on set locations, right? They had great stunt work and they had a great story. They had great content, right? And it's timeless to this day. I watch it with my kids, they love it. People still talk about it to this day. We hold it close to our hearts. And why is that? Let's talk about Indy for a second. He is a acquirer of rare antiquities. In other words, he's a thief, right? He's also charismatic.
Trust me.
He's also a scoundrel, and he's also a womanizer from what we understand, right? But we love him. Why? Because the odds are always against him. No matter what he's done, how hard he's worked, it's taken away from him, but he doesn't quit. He keeps fighting. Just when you think he can take a breath and like, oh, something happens.
What'd you say?
It's just a wonderful formula for a great movie that anybody can relate to. Anybody can watch this film, and since Indy's the everyday guy, we can all say, you know what, that would be me. I can see myself doing that. I can see myself getting punched by a woman. I can see myself in that situation and reacting the same way. It's a great film. It's a timeless classic, and I truly hope you appreciated this retro review on this movie. I did myself. I have fallen back in love with a movie that I loved already. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. But in closing, guys, thank you for watching Rudy's Movie Reviews, San Antonio's official movie critic. I hope you enjoyed it. Please provide feedback on the comments below. I truly appreciate your engagement. And again, let me know what you think about the videos. I'm starting to get comfortable with how I'm doing them. I'm finding myself, I'm finding my sense of humor and a few other things. Share with other movie lovers. Let me know the feedback and what you think. And please, have a great weekend. Take care. Bye-bye.